Okay, we're going to start off by introducing ourselves. I'm Tony.
And I'm Chantel.
And we're the Tony and Tell Show.
Oh, I like it.
Now,
a little bit of Tony, a lot of tail.
What happened?
I said a little bit of Tony, a whole lot of tail.
I like that.
Oh, Lord. Now, it's your name is Seka or Seka? I want to make sure I get it right.
It's Seka.
Okay, Seka. Yeah. Okay. Now, you said you were in a lot of adult films back in the 70s and 80s. What made you get into adult films?
Well, I owned and ran 7 adult bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw a lot of adult movies. And I was always, that was in the days when it was film, which you guys are probably too young to know about.
Yeah.
But you would have to splice them together when they broke. So I saw a lot of, who was in the business and how things were being done. And I didn't think that there was a good representation of women. And I thought I could do it better. And I think I did because I helped raise the bar for other women that wanted to get into the business, not only as far as how they looked or whatever, but more about how they were accepted and what they could do for themselves and so on and so forth. But if you want to know more about that, you can buy my book at www.seka.com. And the name of the book is Inside Seka, the Platinum Princess of Porn.
Right.
Okay. Was there another career that you decided that you would have went in before porn that that didn't pan out?
No, that's what I decided to do.
Okay.
I mean, I owned 7 adult bookstores at the time, which was very profitable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to take it in a different direction and give women a better placement in the industry and help women to feel better about themselves no matter what it was that they were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you think is the best and worst part about being an adult film actress?
I don't think there's a bad part. There wasn't a bad part for me. I mean, you have to take it on an individual basis.
Okay.
So there wasn't a bad part for me. The best part was I always set my own rules, so I decided who I worked with, who I didn't work with, what I wanted to do as far as if I wanted to do a script or not do a script or, any of the aspects of the adult entertainment industry. And the money that I asked for, that I asked to get paid, I got paid. Or I didn't do that job. You're not going to pay me what I want, I'm not going to effing work for you.
Right,
right. Why I want to ask the question? Why do porn actors usually use stage names? Like,
well, my real name is not like a catchy little ditty.
Okay.
And Seka is short, sweet. It's a 4-letter word. It's very befitting the industry.
Okay, yeah.
And but there are several that have used their real names.
Okay.
Okay.
I happen to love my real name, but it's not something that would kind of stand out at you.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like saying, and now we present Mary. It's not like Mary's not the perfectly good name, but it's not something that pops out at you in show business kind of way.
Right. Yeah. You need something that's going to stick and that's going to show up and show out.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a proven scientific fact that names that have the K sound in them in entertainment stand out in people's names, like Johnny Carson. Even though it's spelled with a C, it's got a K sound.
Right.
Yeah.
So things like that.
Yeah.
I did a whole study on why.
Now, how did you get started in your bookstore?
I was dating a guy that owned a few, and we opened a few more together, and that was something I just fell into.
Oh, okay. Now, when you first started, did you know what you were doing with the bookstore situation, or you just were kind of new and you just figured it out as you went?
No, I worked behind the counters. No, I mean I worked in all the stores on all 3 shifts behind the counter as a clerk.
Okay.
And basically, it's it's the same as any kind of retail business. You just happen to be, selling adult X-rated material, opposed to a Bic lighter.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of difference. It's supply and demand. You want it, you don't want it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it, you know where to go to get it, and you go in there with the intention of buying most of the time.
Right, right.
Or cruising.
Did any underage teens try to sneak in and get material? Because in the day and age, porn sites is everywhere, and children underage usually get to it.
What, in my bookstores?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but they didn't get in.
They didn't get in because I know some people probably would.
Oh no. You have to get up pretty darn early in the morning to fool me.
Yeah.
And most of the stores that I had were in and around naval bases.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean that was a built-in clientele, and you have to be of age to get into the service.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you understand.
Now you did the Morton Downey Jr. show a while back. I seen the clip on YouTube, but on the show he basically was just ridiculing you and going in on you, and you subsequently walked off afterwards.
Well, yeah. Can I curse?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let that motherfucker get under my skin. That's why I left.
Exactly.
Because otherwise I would have smacked him.
Yeah. And I thought you handled it very well and very professional. Most.
Honey, trust me, I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But I said, that if I do that, then I'm bringing myself down to his level.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will not do that. That's why I threw him the look I threw him, flipped him the bird, and I walked off.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But why would he invite you to his show and then do say things that he said and go in like that?
Because that was his gimmick for his show. He was known as the big mouth and a bully, and it worked for him. And I mean, I went on another show of his later on after he found out he had cancer, and he actually called and apologized to me for being such an ass.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
And then he asked me to be on another one of his shows it was PETA against people wearing fur. And I said, well, I have 3 fur coats, and I'll bring 2 of my girlfriends, and they'll wear 2 of my coats, and I'll wear the other one. But I'll tell you what, somebody messes up my fur coat, you're paying for it.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
But, I mean, Mort was actually, he was a decent guy. That was just his gimmick.
Yeah.
But,
right.
I really didn't understand that at the time. And even if I had, he was just going at it a little too hard, a little too rough.
Yeah. He was.
And it just got under my skin that day. But Gloria Leonard also walked off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just said, I'm not going to sit here and put up with this crap.
Exactly.
Right. But I think you handled the whole interview kind of well, though. I couldn't tell that it really got to you.
Oh, honey, I was boiling. Steam was coming out of me.
Because he then tried to flip what you were saying about the bookstores. After you had said you got one at a time, he was trying to say that you got all of them at once and everything.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
Oh, he didn't do his homework.
Yeah. What do you say to those people that look at the porn industry as being negative and, stuff like that?
Well, most people that look at the porn industry as being negative have never been in the porn industry.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't know the industry like someone that's on my side or in the production or on the inside of the business.
Yeah.
So they don't know. And most of them have not even looked at an adult film. So they don't know.
Yeah. And if they did, they don't want to say nothing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I said most of them who have watched porn won't admit it.
No, they won't.
They won't admit it, but they will quickly judge. But they won't admit, I was 18, 17 with some friends, and we watched it. It's like, you enjoy it, but you judge it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like I smoked pot, but I didn't inhale.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. You have the title as the Platinum Princess of Porn. Are you happy with that title?
Well, I am platinum, and yes, I am a princess.
All right.
Good enough for me. Now, why did you decide to retire after, all of your years of doing adult films?
Well, honey, it don't look good, but for so long. Actually, the reason I actually stopped being in front of the camera, I'm still in the industry, but
yeah,
just not in front of the camera. But the reason I actually stopped was it in the early 80s, and that's when the whole AIDS epidemic first started coming about, and they weren't having mandatory testing and mandatory condom use, and my life is worth more than that.
Right.
Yeah.
And without those two things being in play, I wasn't willing to continue to work because it was just, even though you didn't hear about AIDS within the adult industry at that particular time, it was just running rampant everywhere. And, I'm like, I don't think so. Mommy don't play that.
Exactly. Okay, you say you work behind the camera. I know you do some directing. What is the difference between acting in front of the camera and then directing movies and stuff?
Well, I helped direct one film, which was Careful He May Be Watching, which I own.
Okay.
Right.
And the difference is being in front of the camera is a hell of a lot easier than being in front of the camera. Because you got to pay attention to the money, where the money's going, if the actors are showing up, if the crew, it's all the business parts of things.
Yeah.
That are a real headache.
Yeah.
But that's what producers do. And quite honestly, I mean, I would do it again, but it would be a lot easier for me simply because I wouldn't be in front of the camera at the same time. So you don't have to look good and feel sexy and blah, 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 and then do the business side of it at the same time. Being in front of the camera, you just have to look cute and like having sex.
Yeah.
Now, you say you have your bookstores and everything, but what else are you doing now today with yourself?
I don't have the bookstores anymore. That was in the 70s.
Okay.
I have my own website, Seka.com.
Seka.com.
I have my book out, Inside Seka, the Platinum Princess of Porn.
Right.
Everybody should buy the book.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we let everybody know.
And I also do personal appearances around the country and overseas. And it's usually like sci-fi, horror, pop culture conventions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because apparently I'm pop culture now.
Oh.
I'm getting that age. I'm pop culture.
Oh.
What advice do you have to younger girls want to get into the porn industry? And some of them that want to do it for the wrong reasons, like quick money, or and they're not really, and they end up regretting the decision they made.
Well, one thing's for sure: make sure it's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Because once you're a porn star, you're always a porn star.
Yeah.
I'll be a porn star even after I'm dead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's
hold on a minute. What? I did. My husband's bugging me. Like, go in there and eat your salsa. Leave me alone. Because even after I die, I'm a porn star.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Make sure you get a good education. Make sure you put your money away.
Yeah.
Right.
Have something for a rainy day. Have a plan B. Make sure that there's other things that you can do. I mean, I'm fortunate in that when I started in the business, I was able to build a career.
Yeah.
Right.
That still lets me fall back on my laurels, if you will.
Yeah.
And so, my name holds a lot of marquee value. So I can still do trade shows. I, use my website. Yeah. There's a thing that I do in a place called Otherverse. It's a virtual community that I have a nightclub, a mall, art galleries and stuff, but it's a virtual thing. And a lot of people don't understand it, but I do really well with it and I can make money with it. Right. So, if you think you can get into the business for a year or two and get out, no.
No, yeah.
You can't. You can get out. It's not like the mafia where you can't get out. But once you're a porn star or have been in the porn industry,
yeah,
that stigma never goes away. It's always with you. So make sure you know that that's what you want to do. And my advice, which is something that I personally did, was I told my family what I wanted to do before I did it.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't have to find out about it through friends.
Yeah.
Or a neighbor or, somebody else, and that they weren't shocked and freaked out and all that kind of stuff. So they heard it from me first, so they weren't shocked.
Yeah.
And, just make sure you have yourself good education and something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think has been the highlight of your career so far?
That's a good one.
I guess the highlight of my career is the fact that it's afforded me a lot of really cool opportunities that I probably otherwise would not have had.
Yeah.
One was meeting Kenny Norton,
mm-hmm.
the only man to ever have knocked out Ali, which is a true story.
Yeah.
Right.
And he and I became really good friends. I've traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
It's gotten me into places I could probably never have gotten into before.
Right.
I hardly ever had to pay for a dinner or a drink. And I still don't, as my husband just chirped in. Because now I got him.
Yeah.
But
that's a good one.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah.
He's a good, good baby.
Yeah. My final question is, what would you say to your younger self first stepping into the porn industry? What would you now say to that younger girl first stepping into that industry?
If she were going to go into the industry now?
No, I said, what advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now, all the things you have been through, the good, the bad, whatever, in that industry, learning the ins and the outs? What would you tell yourself now, looking back on that time?
If a younger person of me,
yourself,
into it at the time that I went into it, I'd tell her to go for it. If it were in today's times, I'd tell her to pick a different career.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the girls and the guys are all a dime a dozen. They all look alike.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like they came out of a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And when it's true, Tony.
It is. Everybody's so perfect.
All right.
And when I was doing movies and stuff, there were blondes, redheads, big boobs,
right.
Big
everybody was different.
Yeah.
The women looked like women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we still had pubes.
Yeah.
Now everything's,
Oh goodness.
And also, it's a lot of porn stars right now who have contacted the AIDS virus. Do you think that has a negative effect on the industry also as well as in this day and age?
There aren't a lot. There have been several.
Yeah.
I don't think an overwhelming amount.
No. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think it was. People aren't careful.
Yeah.
They don't. There's no demanding of condom use and testing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, another reason I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have to protect yourself first before you can do anything else.
Yeah.
Well, if I die, they'll just replace me with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they couldn't replace me, but a lot of the girls that are on the docket these days can be replaced because they're not stars anymore.
No.
Right.
They make 300-400 films in a year, and they think they're a star. They haven't made a career for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're really getting into.
Nope.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, you know, we look at the finished product and we think, oh, it's easy. I just get on camera, have sex, and that's it. You know, a lot of us don't. We see the finishing product, but we don't know the process and the work, like you said, with the directing and the producer that it goes into making these films, the business side, making sure the money right and who you're working with, is the chemistry good or stuff like that. I think people just want to make a quick buck real fast. And
yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And neither are the people that are in the industry.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you today.
And we want to thank you so much for taking the time out your day to give us this interview.
Well, thank the both of you. I love Tony and Tail. You guys are just too cute. I appreciate your time, and thank you for contacting me to do your show for you.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, what's the book again and the website so we can...
The website is www.seka.com.
Okay.
And the book, which you can buy from my website, Seka.com, is called Inside Seka, the Platinum Princess of Porn.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you both very much, and you guys have a lovely day.
You do the same.
Where are you guys located?
Okay, we're in Miami, Florida.
Oh, you bitch. And here I am up here in Kansas City freezing my tail off.
Yep.
Well, I should say bitches.
Yeah. With a little bit of Tony with a whole lot of tail.
You like that, did you?
Well, I like that.
Well, you should. You can use it. Go ahead. You can.
Yeah.
Oh, you show that. A little bit of Tony, a lot of tail.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Bye-bye.